Morning guys, today I just wanted to make a quick vlog update talking about my latest tattoo session and showing off how the silver on black healed as well. So last time I had silver highlights put in a bunch of tentacles, and I lined some new eyes and some texture around the tentacles to kind of pull everything together. So I'll show how that healed quick here. So we have the pieces here. Healed pretty good. Obviously you can see the silver in here healed really well. All the little silver highlights are looking really good, especially in this one because there was so much. There was another little guy outlined right here, and then one here and one here. Those are going to be again silver and red. So the outside will be red and the inside will be silver when those are done. This week we added a new tentacle here coming out of my belly button. So we used the area here. You can see that it wraps up and just about touches this little piece here. So yeah, we got a pretty cool shape on that one. We added a few more tentacles to a few more eyes to some of the different tentacles. But yeah, this one has two spots that are going to be red eyes as well. So every tentacle is going to have some red highlights like these. And then they'll be red here too. So there's going to be a lot of red and silver to kind of bring everything together. The silver is going to kind of balance with the top chest piece and the teeth. And then the red is obviously going to balance with the red in my chest piece, or sorry, my eye piece and some of my chest piece and even my head tattoo and stuff like that. So it'll all have its purpose. But yeah, that silver really came out. You can see it especially in this one, but there's little touches all along here. We also blacked out my belly button for the 4th time. So you can see in there, it's looking sufficiently cavernous now. It's pretty caked up still. It's pretty hard to clean your belly button out. We tried to tattoo it 3 different ways in total. There'll be a video coming up on my Instagram. It's already on my TikTok of part of my belly button tattooing. This is the 4th time I've tattooed the inside of my belly button. It doesn't like to take the ink very well. I have quite a bit of scar tissue in my belly button from, I've had it pierced 3 times. And obviously it's been tattooed 3 other times. And also because I was quite a bit heavier at one point in my life. My belly obviously grew with my weight gain. And then when I lost all that weight, the decrease in the stomach size also created some scar tissue. So it's pretty rubbery in there. And overall, took quite a bit of work to get it pretty black again. The outside and like the just on the inside of it was already solid black, but deep inside is very resistant to being blacked out for several reasons. So we went in there, probably I would say he was working on my belly button for about 4 minutes overall, which is a long time to work on a belly button. And I think Rick went deeper than anyone else has ever, because there were moments where it felt like he was digging into the very core of my being. For anyone who watches that video, it was pretty savage. I may even try and find a way to include it on this vlog, but if not, I'll upload it to my YouTube as well, so people who are only following me here can see it as well. Yeah, it was a good time. That was how we started the session, was down here. Then we blacked out the belly button, and then we immediately came over here and re-outlined this guy. So if you remember how this tentacle looked last week, I don't know if I showed it off, but or in weeks prior, it looked a lot more washed out. It's because we didn't do a double line on it. So the plan was to put silver in these tentacles yesterday as well, but there was quite a bit to outline, so we just did the outlines of these two and the other side. I'll show that off in a minute. We added some more stuff into these tentacles too. There's going to be a few eyes there. I don't know if you can see where those are going to be. They're kind of up here. Those are going to be red eyes, similar to the ones on my chest here once again. And yeah, this tentacle here particularly looks so much better than it did before. And even this little guy having that outline redone, you can see the dimension of it and how it kind of comes in front of this part here. Um, and then you can see obviously these are the first silver highlights we did. And they're holding up really, really well. Those are 3 or 4 weeks old now. I think 4 weeks old. Yeah, something like that. 3 or 4. Anyway, they're only looking more silver as time goes on. So the next session we do on these tentacles, we'll be doing the red and the silver and everything. So I'll show off the other side now. This side didn't take it as bad, so we just outlined the back end of this one. As you can see, there's red highlights in there. And we outlined this one, the whole outline of it again, because quite a bit of this stuff fell out. Just because we outlined, I think, 6 tentacles that first day. But so we basically like ghost lined it all, and then when we did these tentacles, we didn't re-outline them the first time. So anytime you're lining that much in one day, it's a good shot you might lose some of it. So just doing that double outline is probably just going to be key for all the black on black. But you can see this one is looking a lot more pulled out now, especially up here. That hard outline, and we added a few eyes here. These are going to be red as well. But yeah, that hard outline around the edge really makes them more crispy. And I really love this one, so I'm happy that it's standing out better now. Obviously, you can expect that once that outline heals, it's not going to be as dark as it is. It's going to be more in line with these ones on the front because these were double outlined. We also hit a few spots on this little guy here that didn't go too well. So there's just a few lines that were ran again. It's going to be part and parcel for black on black tattoo suit, I think. Like I said to Rick yesterday, I think just expecting a double outline is going to be necessary for pretty well all of this. So yeah, pretty good session yesterday. About 2.5 hours, just outlines and belly button blackout. And yeah, we got it pretty cavernous. If we have to go into it again, we're going to be in that area again anyway, because we're going to have to come down and shade this tentacle here and probably do a double outline on this tentacle. So yeah, we'll be in that area anyway. The next session, we're going to be hitting the eye. It's going to be completely focused on the eye. We're also going to be taking out these skulls. Finally, Rick has figured out a way he's going to get rid of these skulls and make it look like they were never there kind of thing. I don't know exactly how he's planning to do it, but he has a plan. And yeah, we're going to spend most of that session working on the pattern of this eye. So that's going to be 2 weeks from now, because now I'm off for a week. And I'm really looking forward to that appointment. Someone was very vocal about how they didn't like the eye now for some reason. I don't understand why. I don't really care why, but you can never say whether you like something or not, but before it's even finished. This is just an outline. It's only going to get cooler. It's going to get a lot more interesting looking in the next few weeks. I already like it better just having the pattern there. I think it makes it look less flat. But for anyone who's wondering, this is not finished. This is just the outline. There's going to be silver and harder black in here, and even more red in here too. And then we're going to redo all of the color. So the eye is far from finished. It's just getting started. So no worries about that. The following week appointment, so yeah, 3 weeks from now, yeah, we'll be doing all the silver highlights everywhere, like in all the tentacles that we haven't finished. We'll be doing silver and red in all the eyes that we've added to the tentacles. And then we'll be doing these eyes as well that week. So in these silver outlined eyes here, we'll be filling in with red and silver that week. Overall, not the most painful appointment, but anytime you're working on your belly button, it's always an invasive feeling. People ask me all the time how it feels to get your belly button tattooed. And if you see that video that I'm going to post either here, or if you see it on my Instagram or TikTok, you'll see that my artist was going pretty hard on my belly button. And that's fine by me. It doesn't actually feel as bad as it looks. It's another one of those places like I'm always talking about with the nipples, um, where people just assume it's worse than it actually is. There's quite a few of those. Like I think like the head too, people think is way more painful than it actually is. Like the scalp. There's just some places that I guess just look worse than they are. And for me, it's a lot of the places that you wouldn't expect that are actually the more painful ones. Like for me, my lower back was always a nightmare to work on. One of the two only times I've ever asked for back teen was during a lower back session. And it was one of the only times the shop was out of back teen. So that's kind of a funny little story, is that one of the only times I've ever asked for anything to help with the pain, I couldn't get it anyway. As people are always asking me if I've ever numbed anything, and the answer is flat out no. And the artist I'm working with right now would refuse to tattoo me if I was numbed. He's just really old school, and he thinks that if you can't take it, that it's a sign that you shouldn't have it, or that you're deceiving your body, or whatever. I don't really necessarily feel that way about it myself, but that is the way that he thinks about it. So even if I did want the pain-free method, or less painful method, it wouldn't be on the table for me for what I'm doing now. These sessions are all kind of crappy though. Like honestly, like I'm not minding the actual style of work we're doing, like the lining and the dotting and stuff. But the stomach, the ribs, it feels like I've been working on those now. I guess I have been working on all that stuff since the beginning of March. So I'm getting a little bit tired of working on the ribs and the stomach every week. But at the same time, it is for the right reasons. I think I'm probably about maybe a little less than halfway through this suit right now, like the torso. And that being said, the next half the half that I'm working on now is the half that's going to make things look much different. So what I mean by that is, now that the bones are laid out and we have like the tattoos lined out and shaded, now it's going to be stuff like with the silver where we see it popping out more. It's not just going to be flat black. So all the bones of this are set in black, and now it's just going to be about bringing everything out and adding layers and like creating dimension, right, with the red here. So you can see the red is, I think this is 3 months now, either 2 or 3 months red, and the black is 4 or 5 months. So it's just going to be about like adding the little fun bells and whistles to everything pretty much now, because most of the area is used. We still have some spots that I'm going to add things to, like up in here, and we're going to have pieces in here and something back here too. But those are going to be added like procedurally now, and we'll be picking away at the empty spots, because there's really only a few key spots left to add to. The rest is just kind of adding the shine now and putting in the extras. So I think this torso will probably be finished by, I would say, either the end of December or the beginning of January, February, somewhere in that area. So it is going a little bit faster than I expected. That being said, we're on course for about a year's work, which is perfectly fine by me, and that's going 3 times a month. So yeah, I think by the end of this, we'll be looking at 30 to 35 sessions at between 2 to 4 hours a time, which is fairly typical for something like this, especially considering we're doing it over Blackout. As I always say, all of this stuff happens faster the first time. Now we're working on stuff that's been tattooed so many times that, first off, there's a lot of scar underneath. And when you're working on layers of black, particularly, it's hard to get things to show up. So sometimes you're going to have to do them more than once. But it's more than fine by me, and more getting excited about doing the sleeve. I already have plans for the left arm. That's going to go first. I think the left arm's probably going to take, I would say, 4 to 6 months. and then I'll be doing the right arm. And I think that I'll have both sleeves probably finished by the end of 2022. And then I will be going to my legs. I just haven't decided what yet. So I think that this third suit will probably be mostly finished by the end of 2023. It's an interesting forecast to be making in the middle of 2021, but I think it's a realistic one. And it'll just be incremental progress every step of the way. So anyway, I don't want to make this too long. I'm getting kind of rambly. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and like it and share it with your friends, and I'll talk to you guys again next week.